Sharon clutched the worn leather-bound journal tighter, its musty scent a familiar comfort amidst the unsettling quiet of the Blackwood cemetery. Beside her, William adjusted his grip on the flashlight, its beam a weak defiance against the encroaching darkness. They shouldn't be here, not after nightfall. Yet, the whispers had been relentless, echoing in Sharon's dreams, urging her back to this desolate place. Blackwood was no ordinary cemetery. Tombstones, twisted and overgrown with ivy, leaned precariously, their weathered faces whispering forgotten names. The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and decay. A skeletal oak, its branches clawing at the twilight sky, stood sentinel at the far end. Casting grotesque shadows on the headstones, Sharon had always been drawn to the whispers, a morbid fascination that had bloomed since childhood. Now, with the whispers escalating into chilling pleas for help, she couldn't ignore them any longer. William, her ever-skeptical best friend, was dragged along, his scoffs a shield against the creeping fear that gnawed at them both. They reached the source of the whispers, a crumbling mausoleum, its iron gates hanging rusted and ajar. An unsettling chill emanated from within, seeping into their bones. Sharon, with a determined glint in her eyes, pushed open the creaking gate. The interior was shrouded in an impenetrable darkness. William flicked on the flashlight, its beam revealing a chamber dusty and undisturbed. Cobwebs draped the high ceiling, and a single sarcophagus, carved from black marble, dominated the center. As they approached, a gust of wind swept through the mausoleum, extinguishing the flashlight. Panic clawed at Sharon's throat. In the sudden darkness, a new sound emerged, a soft scratching coming from inside the sarcophagus. It was a sound devoid of life, a sound that promised something far worse. William fumbled for a lighter, its flame illuminating Eleanor's pale face etched with horror. The scratching intensified, accompanied now by a low, mournful moan that vibrated in their chest cavities. Sharon's hand, cold and clammy, grasped William's arm. Suddenly, the sarcophagus lid creaked open, revealing a skeletal figure shrouded in a tattered black shroud. Moonlight streamed through a high window, illuminating its empty eye sockets and a gaping maw that seemed to emit the bone-chilling moans. "Help me," a raspy voice, barely audible above the moans, echoed through the mausoleum. Bound, forever bound, Sharon stumbled back, her screams swallowed by the oppressive silence that descended upon the room as abruptly as it had broken. The skeletal figure, caught in a silent scream, remained frozen in the open sarcophagus. The lighter sputtered and died, plunging them back into darkness. Blinded by fear, they scrambled for the exit, their panicked breaths echoing in the mausoleum. They didn't stop running until they burst out of the cemetery gates, collapsing onto the grass, gasping for air. The whispers had stopped, replaced by a chilling silence that followed them home. The vision of the skeletal figure, its plea for help etched in their minds, haunted their sleep. Days turned into weeks, the encounter at the mausoleum a constant shadow. The whispers, though silenced, had left their mark. Sharon felt a strange connection to the skeletal figure, its plight gnawing at her conscience. She began researching Blackwood's history, uncovering a tale of a young woman, Sylvia Blackwood, wronged and imprisoned in the mausoleum centuries ago. Driven by a desperate need to help, Sharon convinced William to return. Armed with flashlights and newfound knowledge, they ventured back into the graveyard. Reaching the mausoleum, they found a book detailing ancient burial rituals. With trembling hands, Sharon performed them, chanting the words in a language long forgotten. As the final word left her lips, a deafening roar erupted from within the mausoleum. The walls trembled, and dust rained down from the ceiling. Sharon and William held onto each other, bracing for the impending collapse. then, an eerie silence. Hesitantly, they pushed open the mausoleum gates. The air hung heavy, but the sarcophagus remained closed. With bated breath, Sharon approached it and lifted the lid. The figure was gone. In its place lay a single, perfect white rose. As pale moonlight bathed the chamber, a soft sigh, tinged with relief, seemed to whisper through the tomb. The whispers were gone, replaced by a quiet peace, but the memory of the encounter and the chilling pleas from the graveyard would forever be etched in their hearts.